also point out a problem that this traditional Taiwanese puppet industry or this art is facing right now is they are losing young people. No, like you, young and pretty, even you have this family business, family culture, tradition, even you are hesitant a little bit if you want to, taking care of this business. So imagine other young people, if we ask my students, hey, you interested in getting a job, becoming a puppet show master? Well, chances are, I'm sure they're going to say no.
Well, what I would ask is there a puppet show organization that oversees all of this?
Right.
Is there an official organization?
I'm not really sure, but more and more puppet troupes are trying to put on some lessons in schools, trying to promote it.
Now, I have a question here is, how would you, if you were in charge of your family's puppet show, how would you try to make this more mainstream? Because it's very specific to temples and thanking gods, but the skills that you guys have can be transferred in a different way, a different kind of puppet show. Have you guys ever thought about that? To be more of an entertainment for all people?
We have thought of that, but we haven't really started much because by going mainstream is also a risk of losing the tradition. So, and because my family business are mainly based in temple shows, so if the temples or our customers, they don't modernize, then we probably cannot modernize too much in case of losing this business. And also the tradition is beautiful, so we don't want to lose it.
So you mentioned about mainstream. What does it mean by going mainstream?
To make more people like this stuff and started appreciating it.
Okay, so focusing more on promoting Taiwanese puppet show and probably getting visiting schools, elementary school, and then getting government projects. That would be what you're saying by mainstream.
Yeah,
okay.
Or online videos,
right.
Like YouTube videos. I shoot some vlogs for puppets, or I use puppets to make funny memes.
Okay.
And hopefully, just.
So you've done this already?
Yes, not a lot.
And how did it go? How was the reception?
Well, it's okay, but I don't have enough fans on the Facebook page yet to get enough attention. But I believe I keep doing this, we will have more fans to follow us.
Yeah, I guess my question would be, as I was trying to get to, is how do you generate an audience that is not a temple audience? Like there's people out there, right? Like I look at the parks in our neighborhood, there's people there all the time, and I always have this feeling in Taiwan that people are looking for things to do. There's not a lot of entertainment options for people. They're always, I'm digressing here a little bit, but do you remember a couple of years ago in Taichung, there was those bears everywhere, and people were going around the city taking pictures of bears.
Right.
And I mean, that's not a super exciting, skillful thing. And I was like, well, you have this masterful puppet show. How do you take that and make that mainstream? I guess mainstream and more public, but it might lose its specialness, its allure, if you said if it becomes just a public show, not a temple show. Do you kind of feel that, or is that what your father would say? No, I'm not going to go to the park and do a puppet show for children, because that's not what I do.
What I'm doing now is I will try to start promoting online first, because it's easier. And
like what we are doing right now.
We can reach out more audience, and it requires a lot. Like you have to be so special and so entertaining for people to come all the way out to watch your shows. It might be hot, and there's just too many things to take care of.
Sure.
So I figure people would like to sit on their couch to watch videos instead.
Yeah, because when you do a puppet show at a temple, your success is not if there's an audience. You don't need a big group of people, because a temple, finances your show.
Right.
If someone's there or not there, it's still the same.
Yes.
Whereas if you go mainstream, now you're having to try to generate an audience. Where right now you don't have to generate an audience. Is that kind of where you're going with this?
Because my family business is, they focus on temple shows. So we haven't done too much in this part, but there are other puppet troupes, they already started this. For example, they make their puppet show more kids friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's quite a smart way to go because, you know, there are always kids will be interested in.
Kids have the keys to their parents' money.
Right. Well, Mark, let me jump in here a little bit because I mean you mentioned that your father he likes to focus on the temple show, and I mean he did say that when we interviewed him, but we can sense that at the same time he also feel he has this responsibility that he should promote this, but on the other hand he has to manage to keep this business survive. And because he said, I got bills to pay, and then I got my family, my daughter, and then for our viewers and listeners' information, this is not something very profitable. It's not like a cash cow or like you get a lot of cash for this. And then so Roxy's dad, I mean, the impression I got is as much as he likes to promote this art, traditional grassroots art to elementary school, junior high school, but he's like, well, but I cannot lose the temple show because that's where my main income is.
Yeah.
So if I don't have money, if I cannot support my family, how am I going to support my ideas? How am I going to survive this traditional art? So I mean, for me, I can sense that struggle when we talking to your dad. I mean, I feel sorry, but it's just
Is that conversations you've had with your dad? Like, where are we going? Where's the business going? Have you had those conversations?
We don't usually have this conversation, but I have some ideas and I just do it. Like I just do the online fan page and shoot some videos and put it on YouTube. And he didn't get involved with this. It's all done by me.
But what does your
you're still promoting it.
Yeah,
you're still carrying on the tradition, which is good.
My dad didn't request anything from me.
But what does he say? What does he say about that in this young people's way of promoting puppet show? 年轻人. So what does he say about that?
He didn't say anything.
Okay.
He just left it for me to do. Yeah.
You know, Max, you had mentioned, you know, the modernization of puppet shows. Roxy's dad was super excited to show us the new truck. Right. So not far from their house, maybe, you know, a 5-minute drive is your warehouse where you keep all the stuff. And you guys now have this automatic truck. It was fantastic. Can you? Your dad was very excited.
Oh yeah.
And we didn't expect this, but the original ox cart is in the parking lot of the warehouse beside the brand new fancy truck. So we saw both ends of it. So can you explain how this truck has helped you guys? You guys were pretty excited to show us the truck.
It's definitely helping a lot because for puppet shows, sometimes we could have 4 shows in a day, and we had to build 4 stages,
4 shows,
or even 5. And sometimes it goes few days in a row, and the second day we might have to go to 3 or 4 different places, and all we had to do is taking down the stages and building the stages. There were often times we were still outside building and taking down the stages like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. And the next day we had to wake up 5 a.m. to do the shows again. So this automatic truck has helped us a lot by saving the time and not sweating so much, and it's safer as well.
Yeah, for anyone in any kind of entertainment industry who has put on a show, you have to build stages with scaffolding and flooring and lighting. It takes so long. And that's what Roxy's talking about. But let me describe this truck to you. It's your typical Taiwan blue truck, a little bigger, obviously, and it's built up with some big foldable doors, but they can just push a button and everything raises up. The stage is already in the truck. It goes higher and higher, and you guys had the show ready to go in 5 minutes.
Yes.
I mean, I could just see, oh, well, this would take forever to do by hand, but the truck was fantastic.
Well, we got a name for that in Taiwanese. We call that transformer.
Yeah,
You know,
it looked exactly like a transformer for sure.
Yeah, we call that 变形金刚, right? It's like an automatic mobile stage. Well, Mark, you gotta know that. Well, I can understand that truck is gonna help the family business a lot because when I was a kid, when there is a temple activity like serving God's birthday, I mean, like 2 or 3 days before the actual event, we can see
the setup starts, right?
The scaffolding, and then back in the time, you were building with bamboos and then wood. They gotta build up the whole stages, and then what? And then how long is the show? How long is the puppet show?
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
So for 4 hours, they probably
A day.
it's probably gonna take them, I don't know, a whole day to set it up. And then after 4 hours, they have to, you know, take everything down and then move it to another temple. So, whew.
And so your father mentioned, and we saw as well when we went to watch a show, there's other modern aspects to your stage that have changed, right?
Yes.
Can you kind of talk to us about that, like how the stage itself has changed from before?
So it's to attract more audience. So we put on like flashy lights, colorful backgrounds, and even the moving backgrounds, the active automatic moving backgrounds, and fog machines, and some properties like big knives or something to present water or fire.
Yeah. No, we went and watched, right? We went and watched a couple days after, and the once that truck is open, I mean, there's an LED display. There's lights everywhere. The background is going. It's very modern for a traditional show, but the surrounding elements of it are extremely modern. And for those viewers who have never seen a show, maybe you haven't looked behind the stage. You need to understand that these puppets are done by hand.
Hands.
And so the puppeteers or the puppet masters behind, they have their hands in the puppets and their arms are raised above their heads the whole show. Everything is done above your head. Now, if you've done any kind of exercise or work where your arms are above your head, it is extremely tiring.
Yeah, so try to have you can try this at home, raise your arm for 2 hours and then see what happened to you, and then don't even mention that you have to move around because a lot of actions, right?